Hi, I'm here in Switzerland. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Not that that's relevant for anything, but just thought I'd let you know, I guess. I gave blood today. I have given blood since I was 17 years old, I guess. First time I gave blood was in Canada with my friend Richard Latimer, and he afterwards we were sitting at a table having cookies and milk or cookies and Coke or whatever they give you to bring up your sugar and replenish fluids and things, I guess juice or something. But Richard looked at me and rolled his eyes back, and he said, "It would be funny if," I said, "It'd be funny if somebody passed out in here." And so he pretended to pass out. He rolled his eyes back in his head and let his head hit the table pretty hard. And I was laughing, and the nurses ran over, and then they started yelling at me because I was laughing. I said, "But he's the one that did it," but they didn't seem to care, so they kept yelling at me. He did that to me a couple of times. We were driving go-karts one time, and he got his foot stuck under the brake and couldn't stop. Came into the pit stop and hit the back. There was like a row of go-karts, and he hit the back one, and the first one took off by itself because it had enough momentum from him hitting. And I got laughing, and the guy that owned the go-kart shop started laughing or yelling at me, and I said, hang on, I digress. I was talking about giving blood, wasn't I? I do that, so, but I gave blood in Switzerland today. You have to wait a few months if you come back from different places. But I've given blood since I was 17, as I said. And I gave it in America, Canada, and I gave it up in the States up until about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. And I gave blood, and something got real suspicious, and I got my cup for donating a gallon of blood or something. And about 3 weeks later, I got this nasty letter from the federal government, our government, that I trust implicitly, as you know. If you know me, I don't have the time of day for those people. But this letter said that if I ever tried to give blood again, that there would be all these threats. I can't remember them exactly. I couldn't believe it. And they said because I've traveled in Europe for lengths of time, that I can't give blood in America. So I was talking to a friend of mine in England, because I'm a resident here in Switzerland. I can give blood. I wait the right amount of time, and I tell him where I've traveled and things. But I went to a friend of mine, my co-author is for the book, is a medical doctor, and I was talking to her saying that I couldn't give blood in America because I'd spent time in England. And she said, "Well, that's ridiculous." She said, "All of the diseases, the blood-borne diseases that are prevalent in Europe and England came from the States. It was Tainted Blood, a blood agency, gathered blood, and gathered it from prisoners and people who had diseases, AIDS and things like that, and claimed that the blood was not tainted, that was tested, everything, and it was used in England. Then all these diseases started breaking out. So now the United States government says to me, who I'm healthy, I'm really healthy, I got to tell you, and I can't give blood because I've lived in these other places where we've spread diseases around the country." But another reason why I don't really trust our government or some of our institutions.